Welcome to Story Time. This story I wrote in 1997 for a public broadcasting contest. Goes like this. In the beginning, he had prestige and power. Now he stood before an open manhole. His trembling eyes peered down, narrowing his vision on the gaping abyss. The babbling coo of the water conspired with the sickening aroma of sewage to lull him into a dead man's ecstasy. Change of scene. A gum wrapper! Praise the pavement! I have something to spit into! He gushed to a littering passerby. He picked up the wad and walked back to his blanket. In the commotion, a shuffler heard a familiar voice. Ditch? That you, pal? He shifted his load and hurried across the street, dodging midday downtown traffic. How you doing? The shuffler said. Better'n you. Look, I got a gum wrapper. They laughed. The shuffler sat down with his bag. Nearby, a jackhammer tore into the pavement. The air exploded with sound. Rat-tat-tat echoed from every direction. The shuffler grabbed his ears and screamed. Give it up. You can't compete. Pete? Ditch said. Laser Pete, the shuffler corrected. Ooh, Laser Pete. What's that about? It's got something to do with me, a bowl of soup, this gap in my teeth, and hitting a target 10 feet away at the Mission Kitchen. Got yourself thrown out, huh? But you got a fine nickname in the process. I got no food, I got nowhere to go, and you're proud I got a nickname. Laser Pete grinned at the worn spots on his shoes, tracing them with a finger. So where do you crash around here? I'm fixing to stay at the Lady Luck Hotel. Any vacancies? I'm like this with the proprietor. Ditch held up two fingers together. In fact, we better go now. It ain't safe here no more at night. Help me with the stuff, would you? The two wrapped his trinkets and garbage up in a tattered blanket and jammed it into a large plastic shopping bag. As they made their way down the sidewalk, the stark concrete monoliths of commerce funneled a chill wind in their face. Shuffle faster, man. It's getting cold, Ditch muttered. Around a corner and up an alley, Ditch ran his hand along the wall, stopping on a small metal hatch at ground level. He knocked and waited. A slot opened. Ditch gave a signal and the hatch opened. The two friends wriggled in. Change of scene. Daggers of light, stabbing the suite, retreated as the evening sun diminished. The desk lamp seemed to glow brighter. A man treaded paperwork in a sea of office furniture and filing cabinets. He popped several pills in his mouth and knocked them back with the remains of his morning espresso. A door at one end of the room opened. He looked around to see the silhouette of a woman framed in the doorway. You? She said. Yeah, me, he said. What about it? Geez, you think I won the lottery? You think I had something to do with it? I didn't say you did. Why are you defensive? I'm not defensive. Everybody's getting on me about this. The office bull is just a game. You think I control who wins? Why should it matter who wins? Exactly, it's just a game. Then why are you so defensive? Anytime you win some money, you act like you're angry about it. I think money frightens you. She paused. I noticed you bought a new car. How did you afford that? Find a richer game to play? Is this an interrogation? Is that how you think of me? An interrogator? Fine, I'll leave. Fine, he yelled. She turned, slamming the door behind her. No, wait, he called. His heart throbbed in his chest. Wastebaskets overturned and chairs bobbed and spun as he raced for the door. He opened it and looked. The elevator was already in motion. He ran up to it and pressed the buttons impatiently to no avail. He banged his head on the door to the beat of the bell announcing the following floor numbers. When the bell quit, he returned to his desk. He shoved a pile of paperwork aside and lifted the screen up on his laptop. A small noise across the room caught his attention. Goosebumps rose as he glanced around. Stay calm, he told himself. This is the big one. Fingers flew as he keyed in data from a sheet at his side. Satisfied with his work, he leaned back to watch the completion of an online banking transaction. Halfway through, a red bar on screen began flashing. A message popped up telling him his transaction had been denied and authorities had been notified. No, I deserve this. Let me have it. I gotta have it. He scrambled with the keyboard to try to amend the status. Nothing worked. The computer had locked him out. After a few despairing moments, he realized the game was over. He stood up, grabbed his briefcase, and headed out. Change of scene. Bewildered and hungover, the executive found himself on the steps of a nearby tenement house. He stood up and walked toward a store with TVs in the window. "Our crew is live at the scene, Craig," the anchor said. "That's right, Chris. It was at this desk last night that an executive at this brokerage tried unsuccessfully to divert $1 million into a private account," the reporter said. Silently, the executive sobbed and stumbled away. He turned a corner and staggered past a public works crew. He paused in front of an open sewer main and looked in. The more he looked at the hole, the closer it seemed to get. "Look at that! I think he's going in," Ditch said. "You better stop him." The executive fell forward as Laser Pete reached him and pulled him aside. A beat policeman arrived moments later. He recognized the executive and took him into custody. Laser Pete and Ditch shuffled away together into anonymity. The end. Hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you.